Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Algan Tezel. I'm working at Huddersfield University. Um, I'll try to present to you a paper from a short research project that we did for Highways England around continuous improvement cells. These are the authors. Myself, Larry Koskela, Patricia Sorsopoulos, Said Talebi, and Luciana Moron. The first four authors are working at Huddersfield University. The last author, she's working at the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul. I'll try to be quick. A little background. It may be hard to see. It's my fault. The text is small. We completed recently a few research projects, lean research projects for Highways England, the main client in the highway sector in the UK. One of the projects called Visual Management was about, the other one was about earthwork simulation. Another one is about lean at highways SMEs, from construction to production, evaluation of CI cells, cost of quality project. This one is ongoing, and I'm going to present you this one, the evaluation of CI cells. The client, Highways England, approached us to evaluate their CI cell practices. So we started the analysis in July 2016, and we finished the study in May 2017 in 10 months. We also conduct a little benchmark study against Network Rail, the railway sector equivalent of Highways England. They're also doing a similar study, similar practice. We also did a bit of benchmarking against them. Unfortunately, we collected a lot of data, qualitative, quantitative. We couldn't present everything on one paper. Journal paper is under development at the moment, so you'll be able to read more about this. And also, if you're really interested, you can download the research report we produce for the client, Highways England. There you will be getting more data and more explanation regarding the project. So I'm just going to go ahead and start. This continuous improvement cells, it takes its roots from the quality circles, which are the quality foundation of the Japanese in the 50s. In the early 80s, manufacturing companies adopted them, jumped on them, but they couldn't succeed much because of various reasons, cultural issues, management issues, etc. And then they lost momentum in the 90s, and they receded in as being a toolbox element in total quality management and lean management. They are applied now, but they are not at the focal point. In the construction industry, they are quite new, and as I'll try to explain, they're not purely quality circles. They're kind of hybrid between daily huddle boards and Kaizen circles. So I'll try to explain that, how it's employed in the construction industry, in the highway sector. So that's the backstory in the UK. The infrastructure sector got interested in lean in the UK in the late or the mid 2000s. They employed a lot of consultants from the manufacturing industry. Those consultants are accustomed to having team performance boards in factories, and they also added a bit of continuous improvement element in those team and huddle boards and team performance boards. The continuous improvement element is called the 3C in the highway sector. Concerns, causes, and countermeasures. Very simple way of finding a real cause of a problem and suggesting a solution. They call it 3C, and they still use it. It's a derivative of the PDCA process cycle. Although it's very simple, this is the basis. This photo was taken in like 2009 or 2008. One of the first examples of this CI cell thing. It's from a service provider. Highways England started to adopt this system in 2014, and they asked us to evaluate it. So we asked this question for this research: how is the CI cell mechanism executed in the highway sector? What are the benefits and what are the current challenges of the system? Unfortunately, as I said, I could just present the initial findings here in the conference paper. You can't see this table, but we studied like 12 CI cells mechanisms in 2 locations in the UK, in England. We did interviews, we did participant observation, we did discussions, we did board observations, and I put the data collection table in the paper. If you're interested, you'll be able to see it, but generally, the data was collected from the client organization and from 12 CI cells. The thing with the highway sector, it's very transparent, it's very much copy and paste based, so if the client does something, the service providers generally copy that, and if the service providers do something, the client also generally copies those practices. So they are pretty much standard and similar in many ways. So a CI cell, what's a CI cell? What does it consist of? It consists of a regular daily, weekly, bi-weekly meeting mechanism, a physical or virtual board to hold the visual data. For co-located teams, they have a physical data. For dispersed teams, they have a virtual CI cell board. Generally, that board contains some KPIs and team work task following and coordination systems and a bit of continuous improvement mechanism. So they come together, they go through the elements of the board, and they try to achieve some continuous improvement work coordination using that system. So what we identified that there are 2 types of cells at the moment. Type 1 cells are a bit more work coordination oriented. They have KPIs and mostly work coordination. What should we do? When should we do it? Who should do it? Etc. The continuous improvement side of it is a bit lacking or ad hoc at the moment, and generally these are created by teams' initiatives. They copy and paste stuff from other teams and they just customize it, but they are more on the work coordination side. There's also type 2 cells. They are more standardized and they emphasize more the continuous improvement, the 3C, causes, countermeasures, and concern thing, the mechanism. They are facilitated by generally the lean team at the client organization. So they are more on the continuous improvement side alongside work coordination. So there are 2 types. A virtual cell example here on the screen. This is a virtual CI cell. This is a cell executed by Highways England, the client, and a service provider over the internet. So they come together. These are designers for the organization. They come together and they execute the CI cell together using the internet. And they follow the same CI cell structure principle. That's a Toblerone structure again. Performance figures, KPIs, continuous improvement, and some also people-related data. So this is what they understand of CI cells in the highway sector in the UK. In Network Rail, they're also doing a similar practice, but their whole lean implementation is based on this system. When you go and speak with them, we implemented lean, but it's mostly based on that, work coordination and improvement boards. They're much more structured and standardized, and it's, as I will show you, it's a bit more connected with the other levels of the work. So generally at Highways England, in the highway sector, the boards, the CI cell mechanism, it's executed by operational people, not middle managers, not senior managers. But in Network Rail, it's a bit better connected. So we identify some challenges and benefits. For benefits, it enables having structured and succinct team meetings, support coordination and teamwork, increase team engagement and morale, disclose related information to employees, increases transparency, help with team building, and of course, help save team resources. I'm not going to read everything, but you'll be able to find it there. We also validated some of these findings with quantitative data. Please refer back to the report or the journal paper. And also there are some challenges. Generally, challenges are around ad hoc and unstandardized data recording, not understanding what to measure and how to measure with respect to CI cells, hardship faced in identifying root causes of problems, ad hoc problem solving, and not standardized problem solving, insufficient standardization among the teams with respect to their CI cell structures, providing team with basic training. Sometimes they don't get any basic training, they just do it on their own. And this is very important, lack of senior management engagement. Generally, as I said, they are restricted to operational teams, not management. So what we found, we can position CI cells somewhere around here. It's definitely a visual management tool, and when you say CI cells, they will say visual management to you in the infrastructure sector in the UK. It's understood like that. They also help cascade policies and policy deployment for an organization. So they play a role in Hoshin Kanri deployment, and also they have some continuous improvement function, but they are not without their problems. We definitely captured data as to the transparency increasing function of CI cells. So yes, we can say that they are part of visual management in the organization. There are some issues as to systematically identifying and solving problems, but there are some efforts as to identifying problems and improving the work, although not perfect. So we can say they can be positioned as part of a Kaizen effort. Hoshin Kanri policy development deployment. This is problematic in Airways England. It's a bit better at Network Rail because of the lack of connection between different organizational layers. But it can be used, and it is used, the system is used for disseminating policies in the organization. And of course, it's used for task coordination and team member meetings as a team member meeting structure. This is a network rail system. They connected from the top management, even the top manager, the executive CEO has his own CI cell, and then team targets are cascaded below to the operational level, and the teams just reflect their problems, the problems they can't solve, just the upper level. At Highways England, it stops around here. They can't cascade it much to upper levels. So they can't solve the problems that effectively, but they decided to go for a step up in Highways England. So when we were about to finish the study, they were introducing some CI cells at the middle management level to get that continuous information flow going between different hierarchical levels for policy deployment. So conclusions, small group participatory work improvement techniques in construction research in this area remain scarce. Alongside Kaizen, continuous improvement CI cells can be positioned within other important lean concepts like visual management and policy deployment. The identified benefits can be tested and prioritized. We have, as I said, a bit of quantitative data to support the claims there. Please refer to the journal paper and the report. The identified challenges are deemed important for future execution of CI cells, especially creating that connection between different layers, different organizational layers for information flow. And more importantly, I think, in the UK, Emmanuel wrote a really interesting paper evaluating the last planner system in the UK. One of the least used parts of that is continuous improvement. So the lookout system is okay. I mean, more or less it's there in the last planner system, but the continuous improvement lacking. So we can link the CI cell system with the last planner system, and we can link it with other visual management systems as well. Thank you very much. I can't read these, but yeah, thanks.